What's up? This is Richie and Jamie from the Where We Wild YouTube channel, and today we're going to show you how to set up a tent. Let's get into it. All right, first things first, obviously you're going to be picking out a campsite. We actually have a video on how to pick the best campsite at a campground you can check out. I'll link at the end of this one. But whatever you have to deal with, you want to just prioritize flat ground. You're not always going to get it. We've had trips where we had no choice but to sleep on an incline. If that's the case, you want to set up so you're sleeping with your head above your feet. You don't want that blood rushing to your head all night. That is not fun. And it's also not fun to be doing somersaults out of your sleeping bag all night or sliding down. We've had that happen too. So flat ground, you want to maybe look for some shade. We got a nice little shady area here. It's a hot day. Take advantage of that, man. If you have shade at your site, take advantage of that in the summer months. It's really nice to have that natural shade. But at the same time, you want to look up in these trees here and you want to make sure there's no dead branches, any widow makers that could fall on you in the middle of the night if it gets real windy or comes on to rain or storm. So you don't want to sit up right under the trees, but just a little further back so you still got that shade, you know, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But these trees look nice and healthy. Nothing seems to be up there, but I still, right, Jane, we'd probably pull it back a little bit, not be right under it.
Yeah, I'd probably set up right in between these two where there's not many branches.
Right. Shade can be your best friend. Just watch out for those trees above. The other thing too is just be mindful of like hills and valleys, all right? Look at the ground as if it's raining. Where would the water go if it started to pour rain? You do not want to set up in a spot where the water is going to pool up on you. You want some good drainage. You want it to flow out of here. So just look to see what you have to deal with. But number one priority, flat, dry ground. But then you just want to walk around, clear any rocks, sticks.
Especially if you bring an air mattress, you want to make sure there's nothing that could puncture it through as well.
Absolutely. And a little later in the video, stick around, we will show you how to soften up the ground of your tent as well once you get it all set up and on the inside. And then the other thing is, you know, we don't have a fire pit right here. There are some down there, but if your campsite has the fire pit or wherever you're planning to set your fire up, don't set your tent up that close to it. You don't want any sparks coming into your tent, melting it, burning it down.
Right.
You don't want smoke flooding in if the wind changes. Just safe little distance away. Looks like we got a decent spot here. Let's pull the tent out and get going.
Yeah.
Let's do it. First things first, we're gonna set up a little bit of our ground tarp. It'll help protect our tent. Now it's super windy here, so we might have to throw something on this to get started. Let me go get something for you.
Okay.
Now, the other thing too that I wanted to mention was practice setting up your tent at home. Your backyard, even if you have space in your living room. That way when you do come out here, you got a little experience with it. Stuff happens all the time. Literally, we went to go pull this tent out and the bag was stuck shut. It was, you know, so you don't want to have little things like that come up that are going to aggravate you even further or stress you out.
Yeah.
You know, you want it to be chill.
It might have taken you a while to get to camp. It might be hot. It might be cold.
Exactly.
You might be already so uncomfortable. You have to set up your whole entire house. Just make life easier for yourself and practice doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to know your gear and hey, get to know that everything is right with your gear. This is just a real cheap tent we got years ago at like a Walmart. And we never got to test it out before we used it because we were on a road trip. Test it out, make sure it comes with everything that it's supposed to, the poles, the pegs, everything you're gonna need. Don't just buy a brand new tent, go out camping and open it up for the first time. That is a really big mistake. We've mentioned that in the camping mistakes video.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna unfold our tent here, lay it out.
Okay. I think we need to identify the front.
It's over here.
Okay. And so that's the other thing you want to pay attention to is where are you putting your door?
Right, exactly. Now, if the wind is real bad, you want to set that door up away from really strong wind. Let that strong wind hit the back of your tent. But if you want that nice view, whatever it is, just be mindful wherever you want to look.
Yeah, exactly.
Wherever you want to go. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here as well is you want this tent to overlap the ground tarp. Once it stretches out, you do not want this ground tarp to be poking out around the edge. And the reason why that is if it comes on to rain, the rain's gonna come down, hit the open area, what's left of this tarp sticking out, and pull the water under your tent. And if this ends up being a little too big, you just fold it, make sure it stays under there, or else it's just a rain catch.
Exactly.
Another thing I wanna point out is you wanna always have your windows, your doors, all the zippers zipped up when you're setting this up,
Yep.
because that way it's as tight as it can be. Next thing you want to do is you're going to set up your poles. Now, some tents are going to have a clip system, some are going to have a slide through system, some are going to have both. If my memory serves, I think this one has both.
It does.
So you want to just set these up together?
Yep. Here, why don't you just
That's
hold
that
it?
little one for the fly.
And then we'll just leave that here.
Well, that snapped together pretty quick. All right, so we got our poles set up. I put mine over here. And then James, you want to start, I can help you.
Yeah.
Now this system, like we said, it's going to have some clips and it's going to have some parts to slide through. These blue areas is where it's going to slide through. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to help her out here.
Oh, I forgot that the...
Oh, you want to go through that middle, yeah.
Yeah, but you remember how it gets like stuck on the...
Oh, yeah.
That's always the worst.
That's the worst. And then it breaks apart on the inside.
Yeah, right, yeah. Once your first side is done and laid out, then you're gonna do the same thing. All tent systems are a little different. In this case, ours is kind of like a big X. And so you wanna just get all of your poles set up before you kind of like lift the whole thing up.
So then once you get your poles through, you're just gonna be, most of these tents is just like that. And then once you put pressure on it, you know the other side is gonna pop it up.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do that. You wanna do yours?
Sure. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, we'll get this one in.
All right, and then this has to come through a little bit more too. Perfect.
Okay. Now, with this tent here, you got little clips on the side that you just want to attach to your poles.
Here.
Beautiful. Nice. One more over here. Okay. All right, all clipped.
All clipped.
Okay, so now at this point, the structure's there, everything's pretty stable. Nothing's set in stone yet though. So this is the time to make sure that door is facing where you want it to face, because you can just pick this thing up and rotate it any way you want. So now we're just gonna tuck in the little extra piece of our tarp just to make sure it doesn't become a rain catch. And we'll do that, and then we'll show you how to stake it down and get it ready to roll, stretched out.
And we can put the...
Oh, the rain fly on.
Yeah.
We'll do that last.
Yep. So, obviously, basic
fold it up.
And you just want to make sure it's underneath.
It's gonna stretch out a little bit more when we stake it down, so, but you get the
The
point.
wind's also knocking it.
Yeah, so let's get going with the stakes. Now you might need a mallet or something,
Or
a rock. There you go.
a rock.
You definitely use that. Whatever you got. But you just wanna make sure that you throw it through those rings at a 45-degree angle. And you want that little hook pointing away. Very nice. That'll do it. Good work. Let's do this other
Thank
one.
you. And just,
Yep, you want to stretch it out. Take a look when you're stretching everything out. Is it too stretched? Is it not stretched enough? You'll be able to tell by looking on the inside of your tent at that floor. You want it nice and even.
there we go. It's rocky.
Yeah, it's a little rocky. I'm gonna pull this towards the front a bit.
How's that look on the inside?
It's looking pretty good.
Okay.
There it is. That's fine, babe.
Perfect.
All right, one more. And I'm just pulling the tent a little bit from the back to the front, a little bit out. And if someone needs to help you pull it while they put in the stake, whatever you want to do.
Rock.
Another rock. This way.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. See, so like if you keep hitting rock in a place where you know you have to do it, you can change up your angle
Go
as
the
long as
other
you're
way.
still sort of at a 45 and it's grabbing that tent ring.
Right on. So right here, there's a tiny little bit left here, so I'll just probably tuck that in, just to make sure. you're all good. So if it does come on to rain, it's just coming off.
Yeah.
Okay,
And speaking of rain,
time for the rain fly.
we need a rain fly.
All right.
There you go.
So now you want to make sure that the opening of the rain fly matches the opening of the door. Oh, this wind's gonna be a problem.
Now at least it's just like on.
Yeah.
Because the wind is crazy.
This tent is pretty interesting because it doesn't have a lot of the guy lines where you're going to be pulling everything off. It just comes with these that are attached to the rain fly, and you can just clip them on right to down where your stakes are here. I get that off, but it might even be smarter to bring it out a little further if you have the space, because you want that little gap there to just give you some airflow and to keep it as tight as possible if it does come on to rain. But your tent's gonna have a lot more guidelines. Our bigger tent certainly does. And also a trick that we've mentioned a million times for those is you can use brightly colored pool noodles to run your tent lines through, and that helps make them more visible and padded and more safe for kids running around or anyone who is known to trip over them. You can also use like glow-in-the-dark paracord, glow sticks, you know, anything like that. But yeah, this tent is pretty basic, man. And then it comes with that little roof, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right through here.
And so on this tent, just set up right in there, close in there.
Just like
All right.
that.
So now you got your little baby roof, which isn't bad.
And that's it.
Yeah. Now, this comes with like a little bit of a doormat that's going to be flopping around on you, but you can totally go to the Dollar Tree or Walmart or wherever and get yourself a cheap little doormat to just lay over that, and that works awesome. But for now, we'll just throw a little rock there. But that's nice. Everything's overlapped. You want to walk around, take a little look at it. No tarp sticking out. Make sure you check all your pegs are in nice and tight. As far as the inside does go though, couple tips and tricks to soften up this ground we've mentioned a bunch of times is to use the foam tile flooring that they make for gyms or kids' playrooms, stuff like that. You can find it anywhere, Costco, Amazon, Walmart. That works awesome. And that makes the ground so much softer. You don't have to worry about any rocks, sticks, anything like that. We also like to get, we use a tent fan, which is awesome. And it hangs right up at the top. And that little hook there gives you some fresh air coming in, gives you some light. It's like half lantern, half tent fan. I'll link it in the video description. We got it on Amazon years ago and it's awesome.
We didn't do the greatest job at cleaning this the last time we set this up, but now we have a small mini dustpan that we take with us, and it's great. Obviously, we could have gotten all of this out before we started setting up, or at the end of your trip, you can clean up before you roll your tent up. And then you know for the next time that it's ready to go.
Yeah, nice and clean.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's really hard to get stuff out of there if you don't have
It is,
something.
yeah.
Really, really hard.
Yeah.
So that looks pretty good.
Cool.
Good job. Sweet. Okay, so obviously tearing it down, you just do everything in reverse. And then we're gonna show you a little trick how to fold your tent up to make sure that it fits back in the bag. All right, so when you're folding it back up, you want to fold it over into thirds and make sure it's the width of your tent poles.
On here.
Okay.
Yep. Tuck those in.
So we're just checking to see if it's the width of the
Sweet.
tent poles, and it's darn close.
Yeah. I think we fold a little more,
Okay.
and that should be perfect. Yeah.
Once it's the width of your tent poles, you're just gonna roll the tent over those tent poles.
That's perfect.
Looking good. Beautiful. There you go. Good job, babe. Tarp up. All right, so there you go. That is how to set up a tent. If you have any questions, feel free to hit us up in the comments, but just keep it simple. Test yours out before you come out on a camping trip. Follow those tips and tricks, and everything should go nice and smooth for you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and if you're into this sort of thing, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Later. If you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to check out the rest of the Where We Wild YouTube channel, where we post a brand new video every week. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post a new adventure. Thanks for watching. See ya.